Shalom Aleichem. Hope all is well with you and your families. In the beginning of the Parsha, in Parshas Kisava, we have the mitzvah of Bikurim. And not only do you bring the first fruits to the Beis HaMikdash, but you have an entire paragraph and statement to make. And that's Mikra Bikurim. And it's really a Hakaras Hatov for the fruits that you received, that you have sustenance, that you have produce, that you have food to eat, food to put on the table. But Mikra Bikurim includes so much more. The person who brings the Bikurim gives an entire history lesson. He starts talking about how Am Yisrael went down to Mitzrayim. They were slaves in Mitzrayim. We davened to Hashem. Hashem, you took us out, Benisim v'niflos, from Mitzrayim. And now you brought us here to Eretz Avas Chalav Udvash. You brought us to Eretz Yisrael. And here are my new fruits. And the question is, if all you're doing is giving Hakaras Hatov to the fruits, then why are you waxing poetic and start talking about all of Jewish history in one statement? And the question I might have heard many, many years ago, I don't remember who said this. I don't think it's my own, but if it's my own, then I don't mind taking credit. And that is that when you give Hakaras Hatov, you don't only focus on the specific event that's right in front of you. As soon as you start giving Hakaras Hatov, that opens the floodgates. And all of a sudden you start thinking about, how did I get to this position? How did I get to this place? And you start giving Hakaras Hatov in all different directions. Here, you're giving Hakaras Hatov for the fruits. But then you start thinking about, how did I get these fruits? Because I'm in Eretz Yisrael. Thank you, Hashem, for bringing me to Eretz Yisrael. And then you start thinking, like, how did I get to Eretz Yisrael? Wasn't I in Mitzrayim as a slave? Hashem, thank you for taking me out from slavery to freedom. And all of a sudden you start thinking about Hakaras Hatov in many, many different directions. On Pesach, we do a similar thing. We say, Avadim hayinu lefar b'Mitzrayim, vayotzienu Hashem Elokeinu misham b'yachal zakav zor v'netiyah. Hashem, we were in Mitzrayim as slaves, and then you took us out. And then you start thinking back, and you start saying, well, mitchila avdei avodah zarah yovoseinu. You chose Avram Avinu. You're not just giving Hakaras Hatov for taking you out of slavery to freedom. You're talking about the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose us to begin with. Hakaras Hatov is contagious. It starts with one detail, starts with one Hakaras Hatov, and then you start thinking about all the different types of Hakaras Hatov. I think in general, people feel this way at the time of a Simcha, that all of a sudden they don't just think about, thank you Hashem for giving me this wonderful boy, wonderful girl at the Bar Mitzvah and the Bas Mitzvah, and you start thinking about all the people who gave, all the people who helped the child and the family reach this milestone. It's usually only at big milestones where people have this appreciation and Hakaras Hatov in all directions. You can see peeking out from the bottom of the screen, I have this sticker on. Today I received the booster shot of the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. And my wife and I this morning received the vaccine. And we're thankful that we're able to get the vaccine. We're thankful that there is a vaccine. We're thankful that to all the researchers who spent so much time, Yomam Valayla. I have a first cousin who was working Yomam Valayla, no rest whatsoever, trying to work out, to figure out whether they can come up with a vaccine. The health professionals who deal on a day-to-day basis with people who are sick with COVID, and lo aleinu, really serious cases and even deaths. People who are Moser Nefesh, who really, really are so committed to all the health professionals. I thank them so much also. I thank the people who are giving out the vaccinations. My daughter right now, who's in nursing school, was hired by Maccabi to give vaccinations. I actually thought maybe we could get a vaccination from her. Maybe there's a halachic issue about that. Oh, that's a whole share. That's my share for tomorrow. But giving Hakaras Hatov to the people who give the vaccinations, who give the shots, and start thinking about Hakaras Hatov to our health in general, being in Eretz Yisrael, being around such wonderful friends and family. There's a tremendous sense of Hakaras Hatov. And once you start thinking in that sense of Hakaras Hatov, it starts going in many, many different directions. And I think there's no more appropriate time to think about the Hakaras Hatov for the creation of these videos. That Rabbi Zach Frisch is so committed, so needs pushing. Rebbeim need pushing sometimes so much and nudging in order to create these videos. And I really, really appreciate what he's done for the yeshiva, what all the Rebbeim do for the yeshiva, for the Talmidim. Appreciate the Rosh Yeshiva who works Yom V'Layla for the Talmidim. I appreciate my Talmidim that I have for so many years. I really have tremendous, tremendous amount of Hakaras Hatov. Have a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.